Everyone knows the porcelain demon from the Conjuring films. Terrifying face, malevolent stare, pure horror. But the real Annabelle, a Raggedy Ann doll, red yarn hair, calico dress, innocent-looking fabric toy given to nursing student Donna in 1970. What happened next launched decades of paranormal legend. Ed and Lorraine Warren claimed demonic possession. Hollywood created a franchise. Skeptics called it folklore. Here's the true story behind America's most infamous haunted doll. The innocent beginning. The story begins in June 1970 in Hartford, Connecticut. A woman named Clara Thompson, a single mother working as a seamstress, walked into Hobby Haven, a small craft store on Asylum Avenue. She was shopping for her daughter Donna's 28th birthday gift. Clara purchased a Raggedy Ann doll. Not just any Raggedy Ann, but one with a distinctive calico dress and red yarn hair. Given the style, it was most likely purchased new. That particular Raggedy Ann design with the calico dress doesn't predate the 1970s. It seemed like a sweet, thoughtful present. The kind of nostalgic gift a mother gives her adult daughter. Something to decorate her apartment. A reminder of childhood innocence. Donna Thompson was a nursing student working at Hartford Hospital. She shared a modest two-bedroom apartment at 25 Willow Street with her roommate, Angie, also a nursing student. Donna was thrilled with the gift. She brought the doll back to the apartment and placed it on her bed as a decorative piece. At first, nothing seemed unusual. It was just a doll. The strange movements begin. Then things started happening. Initially, the occurrences were subtle, hardly noticeable, as if the wind had moved the doll slightly. Donna and Angie would leave Annabelle sitting on Donna's bed. When they returned from their hospital shifts, they'd find the doll on the couch, or in a different room entirely. They tried to rationalize it. Perhaps a cat had jumped through the window. Maybe one of them had moved it and forgotten. But the movements increased in frequency and became more deliberate. They'd leave Annabelle lying down. They'd return to find her sitting upright, arms and legs crossed. Sometimes the doll would be standing in a corner, as if watching them. Donna and Angie had a friend named Lou who absolutely hated the doll from the moment he saw it. Lou was Angie's fiancé, and he thought there was something profoundly wrong with Annabelle. Something evil. "Get rid of that thing," he told them repeatedly. "There's something off about it." But like in all horror movies, the girls didn't listen during these early stages. It always takes something far more drastic. The parchment notes. Then came the notes. Donna and Angie began finding handwritten messages on parchment paper scattered around the apartment. The notes were written in childlike handwriting with phrases like, "Help us," and "Help Lou." This detail particularly alarmed them. They didn't own parchment paper. Neither of them had any in the apartment. The paper looked old, vintage, the kind you'd find in an antique store, not a modern apartment. Where was it coming from? On August 15, 1970, a particularly chilling event occurred. Donna returned from a hospital shift to find the doll on the kitchen table, surrounded by scattered sugar grains, as if it had torn open a bag. A note beside it read, "I'm here," in the same childlike script. The women were terrified. They became convinced the doll was tied to a tragic or malevolent entity. The medium's terrible advice. Desperate for answers, Donna and Angie consulted a psychic medium. The medium claimed to have made contact with the spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins. According to the medium, Annabelle was 7 years old, though in some versions of the story, she's described as 6, and had died on the property years prior. The medium told them Annabelle's spirit felt lonely and wanted to inhabit the doll to stay with them. Out of misguided sympathy and compassion, Donna and Angie gave permission for Annabelle to reside in the doll. They thought they were helping a lost child's spirit find peace. This decision, in hindsight, would invite far darker forces into their lives. Lou's attack. Lou's hatred of the doll proved prescient. One night, Lou was staying over at the apartment with Angie. He woke suddenly with the sensation that someone was in the room. Before he could fully wake, he felt an intense pressure on his chest. He looked down and saw Annabelle sitting on his chest, staring at him. Then he felt searing pain. Deep claw marks appeared across his chest, 7 distinct scratch marks that tore through his shirt and pierced his skin, leaving him bleeding. The wounds were real, visible, undeniable. Lou knew Annabelle had done this. There was no other explanation in his mind. The strangest part? The claw marks healed incredibly quickly. Within 2 days, they had completely disappeared. No scarring, no lasting damage. Just gone. This was the breaking point. Donna, Angie, and Lou knew they needed serious help. Enter the Warrens. At this point, the terrified roommates contacted an Episcopalian priest named Father Hegan. Father Hagen listened to their story and immediately recognized this was beyond his expertise. He contacted his superior, Father Cook. Father Cook, knowledgeable about cases involving potential demonic activity, knew exactly who to call: Ed and Lorraine Warren. Ed Warren was born September 7, 1926. Lorraine Warren was born January 31, 1927. Together, they founded the New England Society for Psychic Research, NESPR, in 1952. Ed was a self-taught demonologist who studied Catholic exorcism rites. Lorraine was a clairvoyant who claimed to sense spiritual energies. By 1970, they had investigated over 10,000 cases. Their reputation drew Father Cook's attention. The Catholic Church often referred severe paranormal cases to the Warrens when traditional approaches failed. On November 1, 1970, Ed and Lorraine Warren arrived at the Hartford apartment. Over 2 days, they conducted an in-depth investigation. They interviewed Donna, Angie, and Lou separately to ensure consistency in their accounts. Donna described finding the doll in her bedroom closet on October 20, 1970, despite leaving it in the living room. Angie recounted a night on September 15, 1970, when the doll appeared on the kitchen counter, its head tilted as if watching her. Lou showed them where the claw marks had been and described the attack in vivid detail. The Warrens' conclusion. The Warrens' assessment was chilling. They immediately dismissed the idea of a benevolent child spirit. Lorraine Warren, using her clairvoyant abilities, claimed to sense something far more sinister attached to the doll. Their conclusion: the doll wasn't inhabited by the ghost of Annabelle Higgins. It was being manipulated by an inhuman, demonic entity. According to the Warrens' demonological framework, demons are non-human entities that were never alive in human form. They are malevolent spiritual beings whose ultimate goal is the possession of a human soul. The Warrens believed this demon used deception to gain entry. When Donna and Angie consulted the medium, the demon allegedly mimicked the spirit of a deceased young girl. This feigned identity was a calculated tactic to elicit sympathy. By granting Annabelle Higgins permission to stay in the doll, Donna and Angie unwittingly opened the door for the demonic entity to establish a stronger foothold. Critically, the Warrens explained that demons don't possess objects. They possess people. The doll was simply a conduit, a focal point the entity used to manipulate its environment and terrify the occupants, with the ultimate goal of possessing one of them. What the demon really wanted, the Warrens claimed, was Donna's soul. The exorcism and removal. The Warrens convinced Father Cook to perform an exorcism, not on the doll, but on the apartment itself. Father Cook blessed the home and the individuals present, performing rituals designed to cleanse the space of demonic influence. At Donna's request, the Warrens agreed to take the Raggedy Ann doll with them when they departed. She never wanted to see it again. It has been in the Warrens' possession ever since, but the horror didn't end when they left the apartment. The drive home. Ed and Lorraine packed Annabelle in a bag and began the drive back to their home in Monroe, Connecticut. Ed deliberately avoided the highways. He took back roads, concerned that the demon might cause an accident at high speeds. His caution proved warranted. During the drive, strange things happened. The car's engine kept cutting off. The brakes gave them trouble. The power steering kept failing. Each time something went wrong, Ed had to pull over, open the bag containing the doll, and sprinkle holy water on Annabelle. Only then would the disturbances stop and the car function normally again. It was as if the entity attached to the doll was fighting its relocation every mile of the journey. Annabelle at the Warren home. Once they arrived home in Monroe, Ed placed the doll on his desk in his office. According to the Warrens, Annabelle began levitating. She started appearing in different rooms throughout their house. They'd leave her in one location and find her somewhere else entirely. The Warrens called a Catholic priest to perform another exorcism, this time specifically targeting the doll. The priest didn't take the situation seriously. He was skeptical. He reportedly mocked the doll during the ritual. On his drive home, according to the Warrens, the priest's car brakes failed. He was involved in a horrible accident that left him seriously injured and his car completely totaled. The Warrens interpreted this as the demon's retaliation for disrespect. The glass case. Realizing standard containment wouldn't work, the Warrens built a locked case for Annabelle. It wasn't just any display case. It was specially constructed from wood and glass, designed to be blessed and consecrated regularly. The case was placed in the Warrens' occult museum, a collection of allegedly cursed and haunted objects they'd accumulated from various cases. The museum operated out of the basement of their home at 30 Knollwood Street in Monroe, Connecticut. A warning sign was prominently displayed on Annabelle's case. Warning, positively do not open. According to the Warrens, the locked case kept the doll from physically moving around, but whatever terrible entity was attached to it remained there, waiting for the day it might be free again. The case is regularly blessed by a Catholic priest. Holy water and sacred items are kept within and around it to maintain its consecrated state. Tony Spera, the Warrens' son-in-law who now oversees the collection, has explained, "It's not just a doll in a box, it's a containment vessel, and it requires spiritual maintenance. We're not just locking it up, we're keeping it contained so whatever is attached to it doesn't bother anybody." The legends and incidents. Over the years, numerous stories emerged about people who disrespected Annabelle and suffered consequences. One widely cited incident involved a young man who visited the museum. During the tour, he reportedly tapped on Annabelle's case and mocked her. "If you can put scratches on people, prove it," he allegedly said. According to the Warrens and Tony Spera, this man and his girlfriend were involved in a fatal motorcycle accident on their way home. The man reportedly lost control of his bike after experiencing brake failure, crashing into a tree, and dying instantly. His girlfriend survived but was hospitalized for over a year. While skeptics dismissed this as tragic coincidence, the Warrens viewed it as direct evidence of Annabelle's malevolent power and a stark warning to others. The Occult Museum. The Warren Occult Museum became a pilgrimage site for horror enthusiasts, skeptics, and believers alike. Among its most famous artifacts besides Annabelle were the Shadow Doll, allegedly capable of appearing in dreams and stopping people's hearts; the Satanic Idol, used in dark rituals; objects from the Amityville Horror; items from the infamous DeFeo murder house; haunted toys; other dolls and playthings, each with its own disturbing history. The museum operated from 1952, continually expanding as the Warrens added items they believed had been touched by evil. After Ed Warren's passing in 2006 and Lorraine's in 2019, the museum's public access became increasingly restricted. The museum closure. The museum officially closed to the public in 2019. The closure wasn't paranormal, it was bureaucratic. The museum was located in a residential neighborhood. As its fame grew, particularly after the success of the Conjuring films, the volume of visitors increased dramatically. Tour buses, crowds of people, and traffic became regular fixtures, causing disruptions for neighbors. Complaints were filed. The first was in October 2014, citing issues with parking, noise, and trash left behind, including cigarette butts and beer bottles. Tony Spera, who oversaw the museum, received a notice of violation in November 2014. The violation resulted from non-permitted commercial use of the building since people were being charged to enter. Things were quiet until August 2016, when a resident took videos and photos showing private tours were still being held at the property. The zoning violations were never resolved. Combined with safety and liability concerns about having the public in close proximity to allegedly cursed objects, the decision was made to close permanently. Tony Spera expressed sadness about the closure, but emphasized the legal and logistical imperatives. In August 2025, comedian Matt Rife and YouTuber Elton Castee purchased the Monroe, Connecticut home. Along with the house, they became legal guardians of the 750 artifacts inside, including Annabelle, for the next 5 years according to the contract. Rife shared that the Conjuring films were his favorite scary movies, and he was incredibly honored to take over one of the most prominent properties in paranormal history. Plans are in progress to reopen the museum in a new, more public location and allow overnight stays in the home. The first 100 nights have already sold out. The missing doll hoax. Periodically, rumors spread online that Annabelle has escaped or gone missing. In August 2020, Annabelle's name became a top trending topic after viral social media posts claimed she'd escaped the museum. Tony Spera quickly posted a YouTube video debunking the hoax. "I'm here to tell you something. Annabelle did not escape," Spera said. "Annabelle's here, in all her infamous glory. She never left the museum. I have high-tech security here. If she had left the museum, I'd have instantly known if something happened or somebody broke in." In May 2025, another wave of viral videos claimed Annabelle was missing. TikTok videos racked up millions of views showing panicked content creators warning that the doll had disappeared. Again, it was false. The rumors started because the Warrens' estate promoted online reports that the doll had disappeared as part of a viral marketing campaign for a tour called Devils on the Run. The tour showcased items from the Warrens' occult museum, including Annabelle herself traveling to multiple U.S. cities. "The doll was never missing," Tony Spera confirmed to Newsweek. "We had taken the doll on a brief tour to several locations so paranormal enthusiasts could witness the real Annabelle. The public was never in any danger and the doll was never missing." Spera explained that his team, Dan Rivera, Chris Gillerin, and Wade Kirby, kept Annabelle safely secured and guarded at all times. They traveled with a Catholic priest who frequently blessed the doll in her protective enclosure using binding, ritualistic prayers. Hollywood versus reality. The Annabelle most people recognize from the Conjuring films bears almost no resemblance to the real doll. Hollywood transformed Annabelle from a cloth Raggedy Ann into a terrifying porcelain doll with a disfigured face and immediately menacing appearance. The producers made this change for two reasons. First, potential trademark issues with using the actual Raggedy Ann likeness. Second, a cute cloth doll wouldn't convey the level of dread needed for a modern horror film. The real Annabelle is made of fabric, red yarn hair, simple painted face, calico dress. She looks innocent, harmless, which according to the Warrens was precisely what made her so dangerous. The movies also invented entirely new backstories and escalated the supernatural elements dramatically for effect. In the films, Annabelle is portrayed as actively sentient, mobile, and capable of orchestrating complex acts of terror. She causes widespread death and destruction with clear, malevolent will. According to the Warrens, the real Annabelle was more subtle. The entity attached to her caused psychological torment, moved the doll, left notes, and inflicted physical harm like Lou's claw marks. Its ultimate goal was human possession, not direct violence. The film's narrative is inspired by the Warrens' case, but is fundamentally fiction designed for entertainment. The skeptics. Not everyone believes the Annabelle story. Academics and science writers have dismissed the Warrens' claims as myth and folklore. Texas State University Assistant Professor of Religious Studies Joseph Laycock says most skeptics have dismissed the Warrens Museum as full of off-the-shelf Halloween junk, dolls and toys, books you could buy at any bookstore. Laycock calls the Annabelle legend an interesting case study in the relationship between pop culture and paranormal folklore. He speculates that the demonic doll trope popularized by films such as Child's Play, Dolly Dearest, and The Conjuring likely emerged from early legends surrounding Robert the Doll in Key West, Florida, as well as from a Twilight Zone episode released 5 years prior to the Warren story entitled Living Doll, in which the character of the mother is named Annabelle. Laycock suggests that the idea of demonically possessed dolls allows modern demonologists to find supernatural evil in the most banal and domestic of places. Science writer Sharon A. Hill criticized sensational press coverage of the Warrens Museum and Annabelle. Commenting on publicity coinciding with the Conjuring film release, Hill said many of the myths and legends surrounding the Warrens have seemingly been of their own doing, and that many people may have difficulty separating the Warrens from their Hollywood portrayal. Hill noted, like real-life Ed Warren, real-life Annabelle is actually far less impressive. Skeptical investigators have noted the lack of corroborating evidence to support the paranormal claims. There's no independent verification of Donna and Angie's accounts, no medical records of Lou's injuries, no police reports of the incidents. The story relies entirely on the Warrens' testimony and the testimony of people who came to them for help. The contradictions. There are also inconsistencies in the Warrens' own telling of the story. The version presented in the Demonologist book by Gerald Brittle, based on what Brittle claimed was an exclusive deal with the Warrens, differs from the version Ed Warren told during a 1980s video tour of his occult museum. In the book, Annabelle Higgins was 7 years old and died on the property where Donna's apartment was located. The doll was given as a birthday present. In the video tour, Ed states that the medium told Donna that Annabelle died in an automobile accident outside Donna and Angie's apartment. He says Annabelle was 6, not 7. He also says the doll was given as a Christmas present, not a birthday present. These contradictions aren't necessarily proof of fabrication. Memory can be fallible, especially when recounting events years later. But they do raise questions about the reliability of the account. Where is Annabelle now? Today, the real Annabelle doll remains in her glass case. She's kept at a secure, undisclosed location maintained by Tony Spera and his wife, Judy Spera, the Warrens' daughter. The collection is no longer open to the public, but the artifacts, including Annabelle, are still carefully preserved and protected. A Catholic priest still regularly visits to bless the case and perform binding prayers. The doll is occasionally shown during private viewings for documentary filming or paranormal researchers, but strict protocols are followed. Do not touch the case, do not mock the doll, maintain a respectful distance. The lasting legacy. Whether you believe in the paranormal or dismiss it as folklore, Annabelle's cultural impact is undeniable. The Conjuring universe, inspired by the Warrens' cases, includes The Conjuring, 2013, Annabelle, 2014, Annabelle, Creation, 2017, Annabelle Comes Home, 2019, and multiple other films. The franchise has grossed hundreds of millions of dollars worldwide and cemented Annabelle as one of horror cinema's most recognizable icons. For believers, Annabelle represents proof of spiritual warfare, a reminder that evil can attach itself to the most innocent-looking objects. For skeptics, she represents the power of suggestion, folklore, and how compelling narratives can take on lives of their own regardless of factual basis. The truth likely lies somewhere in the complexity between absolute belief and complete dismissal. Something happened in that Hartford apartment in 1970 that terrified 3 young people enough to seek help from demonologists. Whether it was demonic possession, psychological phenomena, or elaborate fabrication remains a question each person must answer for themselves. In the end, this story does not give us clear answers. Instead, it leaves us thinking. What really happened back then? Was it something truly beyond our understanding? Or was it a mix of fear, imagination, and unusual events that slowly grew into something bigger over time? Sometimes when people are already feeling nervous or stressed, even small things can seem strange. A simple movement, a sound in the night, or an object not being where you left it can start to feel much more serious than it really is. Fear has a way of growing quickly, especially when you do not have an explanation. But at the same time, there are moments in life that cannot be easily explained. That is why stories like this continue to exist and spread. They sit in that space between what we know and what we do not know. Some people truly believe there was something real behind it, while others think it was all coincidence or misunderstanding. What makes this story powerful is not just the events themselves, but the feeling it creates. It makes people curious. It makes them question reality. And most of all, it makes them imagine what could be possible beyond what we see every day. Over time, stories like this often grow. Details change, new parts are added, and the story becomes more dramatic. This is how legends are formed. What may have started as a simple situation turns into something much larger, something that people remember and share for years. Even today, people continue to talk about it. Some treat it as a warning, others see it as pure entertainment, and many just find it fascinating. It has become part of a bigger cultural story that keeps evolving with each new telling. Maybe the truth is somewhere in the middle. Not completely real, but not entirely false either. Sometimes the most interesting stories are the ones that leave room for doubt, and perhaps that is why it still matters. Because as long as there are questions, there will always be people searching for answers. And as long as there is mystery, stories like this will never truly fade away.